Welcome back, I am Captain Xavier, and today we are looking at Hammershots, because I was recently given a fantastic upgrade kit by the inestimable GAVIN FUZZY, and I want to do the build on that and show off some of the other Hammershots that I have around. We'll start with the showing off. We have my HVZ Hammershot. I have gone on record as saying that I believe that the Hammershot is the superior pistol for HVZ compared to, say, the strong arm, because it can be used one-handed, which allows you to fire it in one hand and your primary in the other hand, or another secondary, what have you. And being able to target multiple people in HVZ is very, very important. And so I favor the Hammershot for that. It also fits perfectly into a double AK holster, or a mag pouch, so it fits into my existing gear. I didn't have to make an extra holster for it, and so I like it. I have put the GAVIN FUZZY 8-round cylinder into it, because with HVZ, high capacity is also very important, so I wanted the most darts possible. And so that is my primary. I am very, very tempted, in fact, I know I'm going to put the metal Hammershot kit that I was given into it, and then the metal double strike kit that I was given by the Germans, because they are also just awesome, awesome people, so that both of my HVZ blasters will have metal kits, because I think that'll just match beautifully. For my war Hammershot, I have this one, which has a 7-round cylinder, and the HS03 snub kit. The kit is mostly just for looks. It doesn't really serve much of a purpose, and it actually makes it slightly less functional because it no longer fits into a double AK pouch. But my war vest doesn't have double AK pouches. I have thigh holsters, which these do fit in. I need to make a slight adjustment to them because this is a little bit big. It will still strap, but not very tightly, so I need to make a Velcro extension, but that will be simple enough. And it has the 7-round because I got the 7-round before the 8-round came out, and I figured I'd put it into this one and the 8 into my war pistol. And the goal today is to make this one into a second war pistol, so that I will have 2 Hammershots, one for each hand. Of course, one for each thigh, one for each hand. And they'll have different kits, but they will both have extended kits and larger magazines, or cylinders. This one will probably stick with the 7, whereas this one will have the 8. And then, of course, we have the one that I built for Jomo that I have finally finished. I finally got the leather wrap on there, and I think it came out beautifully. This one is ready to ship, and I'm tempted to ship it all by itself just so that I can say that I finished and shipped something to him. I almost have a pair of auto stripes built for him. I almost have a pair of strong arms for him, but just have not found the time to finish him up. I have nothing else going on this weekend, so hopefully, by the grace of the war gods, I will get some blasters for him and get shipped to him so that I don't feel like such a schmuck. But let's get this thing open and get the new cylinder and the spring spacer in there, and then put the external kit on and take a look at this beauty. To install the kit, you will need to get the rotation mech off the front of your old cylinder to put into the new cylinder. It does come with its own rotation mech, so you don't need the rotation mech off the old one, but you do need the front bit, which can be gotten off with a little bit of force. And then you have a perfectly good 5-round cylinder for use as an absolver if you so desire. So the only part that you need is the very front part of the rotation mech to give this something to rotate on. This mech just goes in the back, and then the whole thing just slides back into place. It really is a very, very simple cylinder to install. It's fantastic. He then also always provides a spring spacer, which is just marvelous of him because it's completely unnecessary, but he just includes it in the kit. And the way this works is it simply slips onto the spring post, and then you put the spring on. It's a little bit tricky to get it back in. since it's now slightly pre-compressed. And that's what it does, is it compresses the spring a little bit automatically so that it gives you a little bit more power when you fire. Now, there is some debate as to whether or not this is a good idea. It will, of course, eventually warp the spring because it's kind of like having it half-cocked all the time. But it does give you a good boost. Once it finally does wear out, you can, of course, get an upgraded spring. But this is a really cheap way to get a definite, noticeable increase of power out of the Hammershot. We used to just use a nut or a bunch of washers or something to create it, but with Gavin Fuzzy's kit, it comes with it, and it is fantastic. And that's it. That's all you have to do to install his kit. Now you can put it back together. However, with the cosmetic kit that we're going to be adding, there's a couple of screws that we aren't going to put back in because Gavin Fuzzy is a genius. And I will explain what I mean by that in a second. You may have noticed that I take the screws out using a power screwdriver, but I put them back in by hand, and that is because my power screwdriver has just a smidge too much torque. And if you put the screws in using it, and you've got them cross-threaded, you're going to strip your screw posts out very badly. So I always screw them back in manually. If they're particularly long screws, I'll do it part way with the electric one, and then I'll finish it off by hand. Now, there are 3 screws that I have taken out and left out. The one on either end of the top rail and the one right in front of the cylinder. And that is because the cosmetic kit uses those screw posts, because Gavin Fuzzy's a genius. And he even provides you with extra long screws that are the correct thread to replace the ones that you have lost. So, this obviously just slides on the back. We might need to convince it. There we go. Lines right up with the screw hole. And then this one fits on the front. And likewise, lines up with the screw holes. And there you have it. A very long Hammershot. I like it. Definitely a heavier draw. Longer than this one, but then this is, of course, the snub. So, I think that's pretty darn wicked myself. I'm definitely going to be running these in future wars as my sidearms. I like the gray cylinder. It matches in with the rest of the gray. Generally, I'm more of a black and orange guy, but since I don't paint my Hammershots at all because I like the actual variety, that's quite nice. I do need to redo the wrap on this one. It's gotten a little haggard. I actually put actual athletic tape on my Hammershots over the spot where they have that fake wrap. But I have another bit of something I want to look at. Another fan sent me these, which are, I'm reasonably certain, yep, a cosmetic kit to go over the handle of a Hammershot and get rid of that ugly, ugly faux wrap. And that is beautiful. I'd love to know how he did that. Is it some kind of a, it looks like it's got to have been cast. I don't know what these little notches up here are for. Are they just where it went in? It looks like it was glued in at some point. But they have left the screw holes open. So it looks like it does just glue on, and then you can still take the gun apart. So that is lovely. Makes it a much thicker handle, obviously. Not uncomfortably so for me because I have large hands. But if you had smaller hands, that might be a little bit bulky. But definitely improves the feel over the fake. So yeah, I might put that in my HVZ one, though. I'm actually a little more inclined to put it on one of my War Blasters. Or I may make a separate one just for it, make one that's a little bit more black than any of the others. But there you have it. That is how you install the Gavin Fuzzy 8-round cylinder and cosmetic kit, which is absolutely gorgeous. I cannot thank you enough. All his contact information will be in the description of this video. Check out his Facebook, check out his Etsy. All of his stuff is available there for, I believe, decent prices, especially given the quality, because it's an excellent print. And it comes with, you know, the spring spacer, and he includes the extra screws and all of that, and it is quite beautiful. Yeah, that is just a lovely blaster. I'm looking forward to running that in the next war. Definitely going to need to upgrade those holsters so that they don't drop these, because that would just be tragic. I really like the print. He has very similar, I mean, the whole thing very much matches the Hammershot's original look. It's got the big screws and the round-edged look to it. Definitely beautiful kit. So, there you have it. Gavin Fuzzy stuff, Hammershots all around. I like them. If you don't like them, that's perfectly okay. I like being able to use both hands when on the battlefield. This one I never actually got the long screws in right there. Well, I got it on that side though. Yeah. Anyway, there you have it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, just want to call me a huge nerd, you go right ahead and do so in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.